We're the Con Guys, and this is the Con Guys Show, coming to you straight from the nerdy heart of Hollywood, California.
And this is Jim with theconguy.com.
She's been here with theconguy.com.
Katie here, aka the Con Girl.
Zordon did not want 5 teenagers with attitude.
My name is Derek Sam.
I'm Danae Sams, and that's my brother.
We are your home for news, opinions, and interviews from the world of Comic-Cons and fandoms. Your ultimate insiders for all things con.
Welcome everybody to the Con Guys Show live, coming to you straight from the nerdy heart of Hollywood, California, where we as filmmakers discuss the worlds of fandoms, films, and Comic-Cons. Yes, I'm getting over a cold right now, but it's not keeping me back. We're going to do this. By the way, this week we preview one of our absolute favorite cons of the year, WonderCon, down in Anaheim, California. It's the sister convention to the Big Brother down south, San Diego Comic-Con, but it's also a very special show for us. We'll talk about that in just a minute. So let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Jim Fry. I am your editor for theconguy.com and our brother publication, scareguy.com. Who do we have sitting next to me up in the middle square?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Cheeseman back on the couch. Officially, I am on a couch right now.
Wait. We got to see this solo layout. Look. Well, he can't change. He is back on a couch. It's been a while.
They found that couch out in the alley last night.
I did.
We got to spray it down
like possum pee.
All right, Katie.
It's me, Katie. I know it's been a minute since I have been here. It feels like a while. I don't even remember the last time I was on a Con Guy show, except for the one that Ben and I did. So yeah, happy to be here. Cannot believe WonderCon is next weekend. Like, not this coming one, but the next weekend. I just started to figure out what I'm going to do for cosplays. So I'm a little bit procrastinating, but that's the cosplay way. So, let's be real.
Awesome. Danae.
Hi, I'm Danae Sams. I'm the other con girl. I am so excited because this year will be my first ever WonderCon. I was supposed to go in 2020, but you can guess what happened. And I haven't been to a convention since 2016. So I'm really excited.
Nice.
That's a great face, Ben. You should do it all the time.
You haven't been to a con since 2016?
Not
That
since
sounds made up.
2016.
I don't.
Wow.
I need
Which
evidence.
convention was that? Just
It
out
was
of curiosity.
San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Cheese, just so everybody knows, I don't know if you knew this or not, but Cheese and I are in a band that's actually called Possum Pea. So we're playing at the Viper Room. No. Hey, everybody, it's me, old buddy Ben Cleaver, actor, comedian, writer, etc., etc. A regular host here on the Con Guy Show. I was Katie and I, as she mentioned, we just hosted a great Doctor Who show a few weeks back. That was a blast, and I'm excited to be on another hostful Con Guy show where we're covering one of our favorite topics ever, which is WonderCon Anaheim, one of the most wonderful cons I've ever been to. And we'll talk more about that later. But I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited to see everybody. Cheese is back on a couch. We're back in classic form. We just need to get back into a live studio. That's the only thing that remains yet.
We are working on that. But hey, let's say hello to a couple folks. I do want to say hello to Mr. Andy Harrow. Guys, tomorrow is my birthday, and I know that Andy's going to be at WonderCon. Happy birthday! Wait.
Happy birthday!
I think we gotta do it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Andy. We will see you down at Comic-Con. Also, always great to see Lily. Hello, guys. Great to see you. I am excited this guy is here. Michael Emke. He's down in Orlando, Florida. Michael, he is the owner and creator of We Be Geeks podcast network, of which we are a part. So I am always glad to see Michael. And then look, yes, Brad, we still do shows. It's been a bit of time.
It's been a minute, but we're back. Come on. We were on hiatus. It's all good.
That's right. That's right. We can't do 52 shows a year. I mean, we could, but guys,
that'd be rough.
This episode is kind of a special episode for us. For one, the convention itself. Ben, why is this convention special?
Well, I mean, you mean to me personally or to us as a group? Because there's a couple different answers there.
Yeah, whatever you want to say. I'm not one to.
Well, WonderCon, I think, is one of the first shows that I actually ran into Jim and Luke and discovered that they had the con guy. Like, I was, contrary to popular belief, I am not a founding member of this podcast.
Get out of town.
Yeah, right. And it was a few, gosh, I don't even remember. What is it? 2016, maybe I ran into you guys. And I was like, what are you guys doing here? Because I knew them from outside. We went to church together.
Like Danae's last convention, was that when it was?
What was it?
What?
Was it Danae's last convention when we first met each other? I'm just kidding.
Might have been.
It sounds like, I mean, when you say 2016, and
it's true.
Did she say, she really said 2016?
2016 was the last time I went to a con.
I don't buy it.
Okay, Ben.
But yeah, I run into Jim and Luke, and I'm like, hey guys, like, I know you from church. What are you doing at this WonderCon convention? And they're like, oh, we're getting stuff for our website and podcast. And I was like, you guys have a website and a podcast? They're like, yeah, it's about conventions and pop culture. And I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. And they're like, you want to come be on the show sometime? You know, you want to sit in on an episode? I was like, yeah, that'd be great. And then I went on an episode of the show, and they were like, surprise, you're a host now. And I was like, well, and that's been
It's Hotel California. You can come, but you can't leave.
We fed him Bud Light, and he was ours for the rest of the
pretty
year.
Pretty much pizza and Bud Light. That's how they got me.
Yeah.
But WonderCon is also hello, the General. Waiting to hear back from you. I know, General. I am I'm a busy man. I see your messages, and I'm gonna respond soon. My apologies. Blood good. For people listening to the podcast without the video, they're just completely confused right now. I was going to say the other reason that WonderCon is so special for me is it is where I met my wife. I met my wife Brianna through some friends at WonderCon 2015, and we actually met away from the con the first night. We met at a group dinner at Red Robin in Anaheim. Right down the street from the convention center. And then the next day we hung out at the convention, and I got her phone number, and the rest is history. So,
all right. So that is one of my favorite stories. And it's so cool because Ben and Bree have invited us to hang out with them after WonderCon most every year for a party that I don't know if it's still continuing, but it was still a great way. Sorry, guys, I'm getting over a cough here. But WonderCon is a special con. It's a great con, but it's also special to this podcast because our very first Con Guy show happened exactly 7 years ago this week.
Woo!
So this is a big day for us. So
yeah, play the birthday thing again.
Yeah, play the birthday thing again, Jim.
Okay, whatever. Birthday.
You don't really.
Happy birthday.
That's all I can take. So,
all right. Yeah, happy
no, I was
birthday.
going to say, this is the 7-year anniversary of the Con Guy show. And guys, very few nerd podcasts out there go past like a year, much less 2 or 3. We are 7 in. And as Katie said today on text, 7's a lucky number. So this is our lucky year. So I am excited. Towards the end of the show, guys, we're going to jump into WonderCon first because I know that's what everybody's here for. But if you indulge us, towards the end of the show, we will share a couple of our favorite memories and thank a couple of people that have made this all very possible for us. Wait, Andy. This WonderCon is also going to be 5 years since I met Luke and James for the first time. That's pretty cool.
Play the song again.
So formal.
No more birthday songs. I've been friends with you guys for 5 years. and I'm so glad I met you guys. That's cool. That's cool.
I think he met us at the arena, I think, right?
Not.
Was it the
What's
arena?
that? What? Yeah, we met him
He met
outside
us
at the arena.
I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. So, WonderCon is back, and let me tell you, I had heard that it was going to be that the convention floor was going to be a little bit light this year, that it might be light, but I got to tell you, because of some stuff going on, which we will announce here just shortly, we personally spoke with the organizers of the convention this morning on the phone, and that is difficult to do. We talked with them this morning, the guys in charge of the floor, and not only is it all the way full, they have a very long wait list. So WonderCon is coming back very, very big this year, is coming back. The programming is, I think the programming is very cool. There's a lot of cool stuff happening in the arena. They're back in the arena again this year, which is kind of cool. I don't think they used the arena last year. So this is kind of a cool year. And what we're going to do, excuse me, we are going to go through and just kind of talk about WonderCon and talk about I'm not going to do most of the talking because I am sick. But anyways, I'm so glad to have Ben, Danae, Katie, and Cheeseman on the couch here because, like I said, WonderCon's kind of like our hometown convention. We still have LA Comic-Con, which we love, but WonderCon's kind of like, it's got our heart. That's where we all met and kind of grew very close. So anyways, we're going to talk right up front. What are the dates of WonderCon, guys?
March 24th through 26th. Right?
That is correct.
I'm not looking at my notes. So
Friday,
And
March
we-
24th through
Off
Sunday,
guard like
March
that.
26th in beautiful Anaheim, California.
Can we go around the room real quick? Just Ben gave us a great example. Why is WonderCon such a cool convention? Then we're going to jump into the badges and the hotels. Cheeseman, why do you like WonderCon? What makes it stand out?
Convenience. I mean, it's Anaheim. It's close. Just kidding. It was actually the first convention I went to back in, I think it was like 2012 or something. Yeah, it was 2012. First convention I went to. I was kind of like, what are these convention things? Like, I grew up very specific fandoms I liked, but like Back to the Future, Jaws, as you know, if you've seen me on the show, I'm more of a Spielberg kind of kid. But when I was on the floor of the exhibit hall, I saw old Batman toys and things. And then plus there's cool film panels I saw as a screenwriter. So that's really kind of what got me started in the whole con scene and bought some collectibles right away. So, but it's also related to the Comic-Con brand too. So I love how they kind of partner together. So it's one of kind of the biggies, and it's always has cool stuff. And you can also go to Disney while you're there. So that is also another bonus.
And go ahead, Ben.
Well, I was just going to say, and I don't know if you were about to say this as well, Jim, but I got an email recently that they were, it was from the Comic-Con company, which runs WonderCon, and they were saying there is some sort of a special for a discounted Disney day ticket with your WonderCon badge. So they've kind of semi-partnered with Disneyland, and I guess
about time.
beg pardon?
About time.
About time, yeah. And so that's really quite fascinating because the convention center is literally across the street from Disneyland, and you can now get a discount on a ticket to Disneyland with your WonderCon badge, which is pretty freaking cool, I think.
Yeah.
You know what's so cool also about that? I think I'm going to look and see if I can find it. As you know, because of the shutdowns that we've experienced the past almost three, is it three? This is 2013.
3 years. Just over.
Yeah! Anyways, you've had to get a reservation to go. I see Danae making all kinds of faces over here. You've been having to get reservations to go into Disneyland or California Adventure, and I'm going to look, but I have a feeling.
You still do.
Do you have to, if you buy this ticket though from Comic-Con, do you have to then go get a reservation? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I think so. Probably.
Probably. Yeah, maybe.
Because like usually they would you would pay for your ticket or whatever, and then you would pick a date that you go to. That's usually how tickets work with Disney.
Ugh.
But I could be wrong. Don't quote me.
No, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to find this because Ben, that was exactly what I was going to say. I was like, I'm so glad you beat me to it. So for the first time ever, WonderCon's encouraged you to go across the street and go to Disneyland. That's kind of a first. Anyways, Kitty, we were coming to you.
So now that I think about it, WonderCon might also have been my first convention because my pro reg for Comic-Con didn't kick in time to go to Comic-Con 2011. I went to Nerd HQ at 2011 in Gaslamp, but I did not go to the actual convention because I did not have a ticket. So I made a day trip down there. But my first actual convention, I think, would have been 2012 WonderCon, but it's so hard to know because it was so many years. I mean, 11 years ago now. Oh my goodness. So, and WonderCon for me was the first time I went to it, I was living in Anaheim. I was working at Disney. So it was like, I can just go drive from home, take the day trip, go back home, not have to get a hotel, things like that. And for the longest time, it was the convention that I didn't have to get a hotel for because I lived close enough by or had friends that lived close enough by that I could stay with. And I mean, the Anaheim Convention Center is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And with all the construction, it's just become more so. And, you can find eating within walking distance, things like that. So I do appreciate that. Another thing I do like about WonderCon versus Comic-Con is obviously we do see a lot of great cosplay at San Diego Comic-Con, but it's a lot more restricted about what you can do with size, what you can do with everything, because it's just so many people. Whereas WonderCon has a good area outside the convention center where cosplayers can go and take pictures and do meetups by the fountain. So it's a good place for photos for them, and it's a lot more cosplay friendly than San Diego Comic-Con is. There's people who just go and cosplay in that area outside the convention center, who don't even have tickets to go inside. And of course, there's the Starbucks like right a hop and a skip away. So like it's just a lot. The food trucks, like it's just a good location for the convention too.
Yep. And there was the one year they moved WonderCon up to
LA
downtown, and remember it was just like everybody, they went to the feedback panel at the end of the convention and said, please move it back to Anaheim.
Yeah.
And the organizers were like, we hear ya. We didn't want to bring it up here. By the way, LA Comic-Con does a great job downtown. So I don't want to,
but space-wise, like, they don't, Comic-Con has, of course, all the downtown stuff that goes on, all the offsites and stuff that goes down. But as far as actual space to go find places to eat, it's a little bit closer when you're in Anaheim than when you're in downtown LA or you're in downtown San Diego. So that's what I like, is that they have the food truck way. They have it easily accessible so that you have space to kind of move around and roam.
Yep. Danae. Oh, I'm sorry, Ben, you were saying something.
No, I was just gonna. You know what? I'll wait till my turn. That's fine.
I mean, your turn's gonna come quick. I've never been to WonderCon.
I know this, but I was about to ask you. Have you been?
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead and ask your question, Jim.
Danae, have you been?
No, I said that at the time.
You just said that.
No,
that was my question.
We're testing if you're lying about all this. Have you been?
3 times a charm.
Yeah.
I've been to Anaheim to go to Disneyland. I have not been to WonderCon. I'm excited about it, though. It looks like
you're going this year, though, right?
I am going this year. That's why I'm on the podcast tonight. I'm
We
here
need
to
make her
learn.
say that 3 times that she's going.
Hey, Jim. I've never been to WonderCon, but I'm going to go this year.
Tell me tomorrow. I won't remember today.
Yeah, one more time.
He says with a drink in his hand. I'm not going to remember this.
Apple juice.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim's mom. He's drunk on the show.
I'm here to learn tonight. I was
episode.
gonna ask you guys, like, what would your advice be on like finding parking if you're not gonna
We're about to get
spend the
there.
night?
We'll get there.
Okay, cool.
And
As
Danae,
soon
if
as
I'm
Ben
going
talks.
if I'm going with you, I'll be able to help you. Like, it's
Oh yeah, that's
So-
right. Katie's gonna ride with me and another friend. So
All right,
We'll
we're
be
going to
good.
talk to
I'll have
Ben,
Katie.
and then we're
I'll be
going to jump
fine.
into the logistics. So I'm glad you asked that question. All right, Ben.
I'll go on a little mini ramble here, but just to talk
Cool.
about, like, there was one year they were doing extensive construction on the Anaheim Convention Center, and so they moved WonderCon up to Los Angeles. And the thing is, with these major Southern California comic book conventions, San Diego Comic-Con, WonderCon Anaheim, LA Comic-Con, they all have their own personality, and they all fit. They've developed that personality because of where they are and how the convention forms itself in the location that it's in. San Diego Comic-Con is, of course, the granddaddy of them all. You know, there's a rivalry with New York Comic-Con. I've never been to New York Comic-Con, but I feel confident in saying San Diego's the granddaddy, and they're better. Maybe not by much, but they're better.
Yeah.
Them's fighting words. I know. But San Diego, as Katie was saying, has all the offsites. They expand out into the Gaslamp district. The convention center is ginormous. They get the biggest names, the biggest stars. They get the biggest announcements often, and it is so crowded. So many people, literally hundreds of thousands of people, are at that convention, and so it is more restrictive, particularly with more elaborate cosplays and that sort of thing. And LA Comic-Con has really grown into itself at the Los Angeles Convention Center at its location in downtown LA, where you can't spread out as much as you can, because there isn't that, downtown LA is not as much of a, like, they're trying to do better, but it's not as much of a walkable, let's go down the street and go to this bar or shop at that store, et cetera, et cetera.
It's not
like
a campus yet.
Right. Like the Gaslamp district is down in San Diego. And the thing is that Anaheim hits this really cool sweet spot in that it is run by the same people that do San Diego Comic-Con. It's in a smaller convention center, which is still quite large, but it's in this part of Anaheim that's right next to Disneyland that is so walkable, so many places to eat, so many places to stay, and a wide campus around the convention center that and it has developed as a convention that is much more friendly to quite elaborate cosplays. You will see some of the most mind-blowing cosplays of any convention at WonderCon Anaheim, to take nothing away from places like Dragon Con and other conventions that happen all over the world where there is magnificent cosplay happening, but you will see some of the best at WonderCon Anaheim.
Why do you think that is?
Go ahead.
Why do you think that is, Ben? Why do you think WonderCon has some of the best? Like, why
Well,
do you think people go all out?
First of all, Southern California is a hub for creatives, I think.
Yes.
I don't think anybody's going to argue that point. So many people who are either from here originally or come out here to pursue the creative arts live in the Los Angeles County, Orange County area. But WonderCon specifically, like I said, the campus is very walkable. It's a smaller convention than San Diego Comic-Con, but with the same, let's say, financial backing behind it, the same name recognition backing behind it. But it is lower. The people to space ratio is lower than San Diego. Not that people don't go to this con, because a ton of people go to this con, but the way it is spaced out is that you're not elbow to elbow with people on Saturday afternoon like you are at San Diego.
I think that it tops out at 190. I think it tops out at 90,000, whereas San Diego tops out between 135 to 140. Yeah.
Right. And with San Diego, it's twice that much with people who are just in town for the convention, not going into the convention center.
Yeah.
But the other wonderful things about WonderCon, we should have titled this episode "Wonderful Things About WonderCon."
Oh yeah, that's great.
You've got the Hilton and the Marriott right outside the convention center. The Hilton bar is a hub. Everybody goes and hangs out at the Hilton bar. The Marriott as well, but it's a much smaller space. But the Hilton bar is very open. It's a larger space. Everybody who's everybody goes and hangs out at the Hilton bar after the convention center closes. You're drinking alongside somebody dressed as Boba Fett and a writer for the show Boba Fett. Like, it's, you're rubbing shoulders with everybody in this bar. And it's probably not like George Clooney isn't hanging out in there, but you're meeting comic book artists, writers, film and TV writers, directors, actors who aren't, big time A-list celebrities, but people you might recognize, and just fellow nerds who are just happy to be there. The convention scene, WonderCon was not my first con, but it was my first major con. That's not true. I did go to San Diego a couple years before I went to WonderCon. Sorry. But it was the first con where I felt like I belonged. Like I was, okay, here's where I belong. This is the con that got me into cons, really.
Yeah.
Like I loved going down to San Diego, but I felt like an ant on, like an ant on an orange. What a weird analogy. But it it's just fun. It's comfortable. You're, like I said, you're not shoulder to shoulder with everybody all the time. It's not hot and sweaty and uncomfortable, and you have to fight through to get to everywhere you want. It's much more walkable. Like I said, you see a lot of great cosplay. Everybody's hanging out at the bar in the evening. You can jump over to Disneyland for the evening if you want, or at least you used to be able to. Now you have to make reservations, but you have all these restaurants, all these places to go eat and shop. And if you're not shopping in the convention center, which also is a awesome option because they have collectibles, they have comics, they have original artists, they have everybody that you would have at a convention. And it's my favorite con. I love San Diego, but this is my favorite con.
It's hard for me to decide between the two. I have found myself frequently saying that WonderCon is my favorite con, mainly because the networking aspect of meeting people in the industry, which is that's what you're trying to do, it's easier here. It's more, like you said, that Hilton lobby bar every night after the convention closes. We're having a section of our show tonight where we're giving tips on insider tips. My insider tip is the same what Ben just said. After the show closes, if you are interested in being a comic book creator, a writer, a television writer, any of those things, go over to that bar and buy a drink for somebody and talk to them, because you swing a cat in that room. You know how you swing a cat, you're going to hit 15 writers, 6 artists, and a couple of actors. You're going to meet the people in there that can really help you. I do want to follow up on what Ben said about the theme park tickets. The special ticket prices are not available once you arrive over at the resort. You have to buy them through the email that went out, or you have to buy them on site at the event. Only registered attendees are allowed to purchase tickets. This is what I wish they would do for hotels in San Diego. Only registered attendees can purchase those hotels. Anyway. Yep.
Yes. So much.
We reserve the right to contact the ticket purchaser to request registration confirmation. So you got to prove that you're registered at the event. And then
basically they need to see your badge.
Yep.
And a picture of you inside the convention center.
Yeah. But you can purchase up to six tickets.
Oh, wow. So,
by the way, this is smack dab in the middle of super, super busy time. So the fact that they're making space for attendees over there is a really cool thing. Really cool thing. All right. What Ben just said, ditto. Ditto. End of show. No. So what we're going to do now.
We have another guest about to join, Jim.
Wait. What? We are going to introduce somebody. I am super excited. Hey, Luke, can you take care of the branding once we introduce our very special guest? Carrie Lane is on with us. Woo-hoo!
Yay! What's up, everybody?
Everybody, this is Carrie Lane. Carrie Lane, please introduce yourselves.
Yes, hello, everybody.
As if you have more than one of you.
Yes, me, myself, and I talk to all of us all the time. Yes, I am a host, and I come on the Con Guy on occasion, and I've hosted with them, as well as the Scare Guy. And you can find all the cool random stuff I do on that handle, Carrie D. Lane, across all the social interwebs and things.
By the way, she says she hosts with us on occasion. For the first half, well, for years, she was our main host on the show with us and Ben and Luke and Katie. It was fantastic. Your absence has left a giant hole in the podcast, Carrie, but we are always so glad to see you, especially, and Carrie's the best one to talk to once we get past Comic-Con. By the way, as we all know, the day after Comic-Con is the first day of Halloween for all of us. And Carrie is the best one to talk to about stuff. Like, Carrie, I love the hair right now. That looks
great.
You.
Thank you.
You never know. Carrie, by the way, I think you just had a birthday, right?
No, I'm August, so Leo all the way.
Which month? When was that one time you came down August. And we came in? Oh, it was Luke's birthday when we came and visited you on Luke's birthday weekend. I thought it was my birthday weekend. All right. So, Carrie, tell us, are you going to be able to stay with us for the show or just a short time?
Yeah, no, I'm joining in.
We are so happy then. This is so exciting. All
now
right.
we have the full boxes. I like it.
Yeah.
Ooh, and then nice. We get the lady triangle and the dude triangle. I got it. Yes.
I like it. Yeah.
Oh, the symmetry. All right. This is not the Academy Awards, so we can't go on for 3.5 hours. We're going to jump right in. You're going to talk about Carrie, real quick. What is one thing that you love about WonderCon? What sets that convention apart?
I agree. I think Ben said it one time, or I feel you were the one who said it, but it was like, it's like Comic-Con's little sister, or at least it's been said on this channel. And I feel that is such a great description, because you get all the awesomeness of a Comic-Con, but in a condensed format. So I feel you can run into people more likely. It's not as overwhelming for people if this is their first time checking out a convention. It's not as far for some people who are more LA based, so that's kind of convenient as well. It's right by Disneyland, so I mean, there is that. That's pretty cool. But overall, yeah, it has this really nice, you know, like, I feel like it's a hug, you know, a family feeling, because it is a smaller, but not that it's tiny. It's not like a hotel con, you know, so it has that nice sweet spot.
Yep. Perfect. Excuse me. And let's just say hello really quick.
I'm going to grab something real quick. It's literally 5 feet away from me, but I'll be right back.
Okay. Good to see you, Nathan. And also Jonathan Wilkinson. Always good to see you, my friend. And Luke, this one's for you. Happy day after 3/11 day, everyone. Hello, Luke.
Swine. You swine.
Yeah.
Also, early Happy Pie Day.
Pie Day.
That's right. That is right.
That's tomorrow.
Right. Today is Pie Eve.
3.14159 ad infinity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I say one thing real quick? It's not related to WonderCon, but I need to say it.
Yeah.
Congratulations to this person
wait,
here.
Let's pull this up. Wait.
Yeah.
What happened? What is this about?
No, Data Goonies.
He
won an Academy Award.
He won an Oscar last night.
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
I wanted to share that because obviously I mean, I didn't see his acceptance. I was actually at Danae's house when we weren't watching it that
Grab
time.
your tissues.
But when I watched the video later, I was crying. And then I saw Michelle Yeoh's acceptance speech, and Danae can tell you because she was with me, and I was crying. So I just wanted to say congrats, because that was a massive night. And
can I put you on the spot, Katie? Because I know that I love when these. Why was that cool for you?
So Michelle was the first Asian to win a leading actress award. So that's huge. And I mean, okay, before I say anything else, I have not seen the movie yet. So, but I've followed Michelle Yeoh for a long time. So like, I know that she is well deserving of it. And then, but yeah, it was just a big, you know, and a few years back, you know, not to get too political with it, but a few years back, there was a lot of scrutiny with the Oscars saying that they were too white. And so it is nice to finally seeing other lots of people of color, and the fact that they got to see Halle Berry, who was the first African-American woman to win an Oscar, present it to her as well, was pretty great. That was
it was a great night. By the way, it was awesome for representation, but Michelle Yeoh,
sorry, I know it was a tangent to WonderCon, but I had to talk about it.
No, it's so cool. And by the way, did you see you saw the picture of, you know, Harrison Ford hugging, and then you know, older and younger. Oh my gosh, that's the best thing ever. All right.
That made me cry too.
And for the scare guy, Jamie Lee Curtis, that was, I think didn't she give a shout out to horror fans and all the people that have been kind of fans to her.
And Jamie Lee Curtis, who his basically of videos that we posted from Comic-Con, our biggest video we ever posted was Jamie Lee Curtis when she was introducing her new Halloween movie, and she had one of the guys come up and ask her a question and about his own trauma, and they just broke down. She came down off the stage, stopped the panel to hug him and console him. I was like, she's real. She's the real deal. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. All right, WonderCon, Katie, what do I have in my hand here? Because Katie texted me all this week. So, guys, it's coming in the manila envelope.
Yeah. So first of all, I need to preface this with a very interesting thing is that it showed up, and when I got my badges, I was told you have to have your badges by the 15th in order to get them shipped to you. My pro reg did not get validated till the 16th. So I was like, I'm not going to get them mailed to me. So add that to the fact that it is addressed to you with a Pennsylvania address. I was completely blindsided. I was like, what is this? I opened it with no hesitation, which probably was not a good idea. But anyway, and I know that they, in the past, that they have done different addresses to keep people from stealing people's badges and stuff. I don't know if that's the same reason they did it for this. But yeah, if you guys haven't gotten your badges, or you have mail waiting at your house in a padded envelope like that, that is from Pennsylvania, it is your WonderCon badges.
And I guess it's okay for us to say that now. Everybody's going to run out and look at their neighbor's mailbox and grab one of these. I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, badges are out. Badges have been mailed.
Yeah.
So,
but if you haven't,
I like how Jim was like covering his name and stuff on you. There's no private information on the front.
I was about to say there's nothing on here at all. I was just being super careful.
I think apparently the reason people tell you not to share your whole badge is because if people were to like take a picture of it
just
and
copy it,
and then get in, and then your name is on it, they will completely cancel your badge. So I think that's why they're saying don't post the whole badge. But they should have. I don't know if they have RFID on them. They do, right?
They do.
Are they doing it for WonderCon?
Are they going to be like the tap? You know, when you tap.
But that's what they usually do for Comic-Con. Yeah, but
they've just gone with that all the way now.
While we're talking about badges, I can continue talking about badges. That way we can talk about that. So with badges, they are not sold out. Just the early bird ones are gone, but you can still buy individual tickets online. And you'll have to have a member ID to like get them online, and it'll be attached to it. But it's a really easy process. You just add it to your cart and you check out. It's not that hard at all. But you will not get your badge shipped to you anymore because it is, of course, 2 weeks out. So you will report to at WonderCon. You can pick it up there. So there will be a specific lines. Hall D, yes, thank you. And they'll start. You can pick them up the day before. I highly recommend this if you are going to be going for the whole weekend, or even going for one day. Going the day before, if you're in the area, is a really smart idea because it can get a very long line and it will take time out of your experience at WonderCon. So going earlier is better. Last year we had to deal with all the like health check things, so that did of course add time too. But this year I don't think they're doing that. I haven't seen any posts about it yet. And then as far as if you already have your badge, as you know, there's things like lanyards and the very famous popular bags and the program books and things like that, which you will pick up at the convention itself. And there will be a purple banner that says bags, books, and lanyards above one of the Hall D doors. So if you already have a badge, that is the line you will go into. Because sometimes I think that they actually, that's smart, because I think last year it was really confusing where to go if you had your badges and where to go if you didn't have your badges. And that
another reason to give yourself plenty of time so that you're not rushing, you're not running, you're not sweating, and just pack your patience, take a deep breath, and give yourself plenty of time to find it and chill out. Make a friend while you're standing in line.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I made a lot of friends last year. For some reason, last year
she said she had to hop off for a second.
She had to step out.
So last year,
I don't know if she'll be back, but
because we had a big panel that we did last year. It was so awesome. We'll talk about a panel in just a second. So we made a lot of friends. I saw Ben. We saw Ben in line. We were all in line last year. It's not a bad deal. It's fun. You meet a lot of people. Any other things about badges we need to say? We're gonna do hotels, and then I'm so glad Carrie's here to talk to us about parking. She's the parking queen.
I'm like, I know for there too.
I think that's it for badges, as far as I know. Because it's not like it's pretty self-explanatory with just like you pick them up and you save time for it. It's that's.
Wait, do they have a spot? Who's the sponsor? All Fankind welcome. Prime Video. Prime Video's the sponsor this year.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that took over at Comic-Con too. Remember, it wasn't HBO this last year or WB last year.
Well, I think hasn't it been Walking Dead for a number of years too?
Yes.
On the badges.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about hotels. It's a lot easier to get a hotel in Anaheim than it is in San Diego. Just to let you know, if the best bet, go for the host if you can afford it, and it's not that expensive, especially if you get people in the room with you. Go for the host hotel, Hilton or Marriott. They're right there at the convention center, and they're both still available. The Marriott for $233 a night, that's where it starts, and the Hilton for $226. Right there in front. I mean, you walk right across the street to the convention center. It's so great. If you have rooms now, it's too late to cancel, but there are some other on-peak rooms that are available not they are the ones that are sold out. Hotel Lulu. Where is Hotel Lulu? Did that used to be Clarion? Because Clarion's not on the list anymore.
If that is, then because that's where I stayed last year, I think Clarion is where I stayed.
In the Clarion. Clarion is not listed this year. There's Residence Inn, Spring Hill Suites. So those are all sold out. Hotel Lulu, Residence Inn, Spring Hill Suites still available. Marriott and Hilton, and then there are some other on Peak. Wait, no. Marriott and Hilton are the only two you can still get through on Peak. But right before the show, I went on hotels.com and I found within less than a mile, within like half a mile, 0.36 walking, the Westin, $296 per night, the Grand Legacy, $296, the Sheraton, $274, Hyatt Regency, $261, Eden Rock in Suites, which is right behind the convention center, $223, Doubletree, $247, and there's more. So all I'm saying is plenty of rooms, plenty of space.
Also, if you want to risk it a little bit because you don't get to choose where you stay, and not sponsored, but Hotwire is a good one where you can say an area you want to be in, and you will get probably a much cheaper hotel. But again, it's like you get to pick what area you want to look in, and they're kind of like last fill kind of rooms, which is a good one to do if you don't mind maybe having to drive a little bit, because you might get lucky and you get something really close at the bottom of the little square you get, or you might be at the top end. But if budget is more your concern, Hotwire is a good one to look at.
Oh yeah.
And these rooms will, even though some people are going to say, wow, like $250, that's pretty pricey, but compared to Comic-Con, that is.
Well, I was going to say hotels nowadays, yeah. So and that too, and conventions, yeah, that's kind of what it is.
At Comic-Con, usually the minimum starting for anywhere within a 2-mile radius is like $280, $290.
Yeah, if you're downtown, you're looking at $280 to $320 per night. So I do remember it was probably just like 5 years ago. I do remember that Hyatt. I mean, the Hilton right there, you could grab it for $110 per night. So it has
good old days.
And of course, there's plenty of hotels in the area that aren't going to be on Peak because Disneyland and Angel Stadium and Honda Center are all in that same vicinity. So there's constantly tourists. There's constantly people going through that area. So there's no lack of rooms, unlike San Diego Comic-Con. So it's pretty easy to find rooms. I mean, I think I booked my room like 2 weeks before the convention last year. Like, it was not very far before, because I wasn't like I procrastinated. Was like, I don't know if I'm gonna drive. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna stay in a hotel. And then I was like, it's just gonna be easier to stay in a hotel, and I got a hotel. And
I'm just gonna put this out. Luke and I have we have a friend flying in. We decided to get a room. We're staying there at the Hilton at the host hotel. We will be in the Hilton lobby afterwards each night. Come find us. If you come find us, Luke will mix you a drink in the room. Just going to tell you. Boy, I can't believe I threw that out there.
It'll be strong. Just a warning and disclaimer for anybody. It'll be strong.
If there's a line outside the room.
Luke will mix you a drink. He means Luke will give you hard liquor with a little bit of something else in it.
Yeah, you don't want me to make you drink.
Or maybe you
All right.
do.
Since we're talking about hotels for Anaheim are kind of the easy part. Carrie, parking, I think that becomes a bigger challenge. Could you talk to us a little bit about parking at WonderCon?
Well, you can have lots nearby, but just remember that that's going to take some time to get in. They might be full. There is street parking, but you got to walk, and you're in residential neighborhoods. So please do not disturb the neighbors. Please do not, because that's going to ruin it for all of us. So if you're like me and you're more on the budget and you don't mind walking, you can look into some of the neighborhoods that are nearby. But remember, this is right by Disneyland. So you kind of have to go a little bit more of one direction to find them. And again, be respectful of all the people there. Don't be blocking their driveways or anything. Because I'm like, that's always what I've done. And then also never leave anything valuable in your car, you guys. Come on, like that's a pretty no-brainer. Leave it nice and nothing visible. But I know I've seen the lines for people to go park at the convention center, but that's the other same thing. Bring patience, because sometimes it's just slow for people to get in there and get out. It is definitely not the same kind of parking as Comic-Con where, good luck. But WonderCon, at least there are lots, but again, takes time.
And to echo off of that, because as someone who would not stay at hotels for a long time when I lived in Anaheim, I park at either the Garden Walk Mall, which is right. It is a little bit of a walk, but I park either there, which there's a lot of food there. So at the end of the day, when you're going back to your car, you might be able to stop by the bar or stop by and get food somewhere. But also, last year and usually at WonderCon, the Disney parking lot will say convention parking on one side and Disneyland parking on the left side. And so we just go to that lot every single time. It is a little bit more of a walk, but you just go straight and you can see the convention center. But it takes the hassle out of it because Disney's parking is always so well marked. And then and they'll ask you, like, are you going to the convention or are you going to Disney? And then if you're going to both, you just kind of like say which one, like, you know, but I think they have different prices, but that's usually what I do because it's just the easiest place for me to find parking usually.
And if you go to the website, comiccon.org, it's comic-con.org, and you go over to the parking section, it does tell you the Anaheim Convention Center, it has parking at the convention center for $20 per day. It's a first come, first serve. There's no overnight parking. So that one fills up fairly quickly. They also have a map on there you can click for some other parking locations around. You're going to be looking at, you know, between $20 to $40.
I was gonna say $20 is pretty good. I just went by LA Kings game. It is $30 to park there. So
Bank of California, $50.
Wow.
What?
I went to a free concert, but the parking was $50. So the concert was $50.
Wow.
It's kind of like buying a $20 concert ticket through Ticketmaster, but then paying $120.
Don't get me started on Ticketmaster. Y'all do not want to go down that road today.
All right, so Jonathan, what if I can't open my hotel door due to my hot dog fingers? You need to work on that, my friend. I don't know what all this hot dog fingers is about.
It's from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, wait, that's right. Okay. Sorry, you're crossing fandoms there. Don't cross the fandoms. All right. So that's parking. We're not going to keep everybody super long tonight, but we do have a couple other things to talk about. Food. And Ben, food, go.
Well, like Katie was saying earlier, they've got a whole row. I'll just say they've got a whole row of food trucks right there outside the convention center, and they are dank. They are like seriously good stuff. And there's always a variety, international cuisines represented, fusions and anything else from burgers to hot dogs to pizza and anything from around the planet. You've just got magnificent food trucks. And then, of course, as we were saying, there's always the food courts and the restaurants inside the hotels, the Marriott and the Hilton. The convention center does sell food in the convention center. You know,
and the arena too, especially.
Say that again.
The arena, especially, they kind of have an area there
so they'll have concessions and food court type stuff there.
I would say for the food trucks, have cash and card as options, because sometimes food trucks, if something happens with their machine that they're using for their cards and it's down, and then they just put up their cash only sign, you don't want to be stuck. And also be ready to wait in those lines too.
Yeah.
LineCon.
There's a great there's a food court right inside the Hilton, though. If you go right inside the Hilton, they got a food court with like some cheaper fare. The Marriott has some food options in there as well. So
that's the Starbucks. I always go to the Starbucks over there.
Yeah, it's a great Starbucks. They got a big one over there.
I was going to say, but also as someone who's packed lunches for themselves, those are great options for yourself and a way to save money and time and know what you're getting. Healthy options are available to you. Protein shakes are fantastic and easy to carry with you. A weird one that's a weird suggestion, but it's really tasty. Sometimes the toddler snacks are great because it's like a juice thing that's fruit and it's not added sugar. Or it's like small snacks to have with you on hand, and they are amazing. And just get it at your grocery store ahead of time, and then you can pack that and have non-perishable things on hand, so that if you're waiting between your meals, that's a good way to tide yourself over.
And Derek,
hard-boiled
eggs.
eggs.
Go ahead.
Yes, hard-boiled eggs are great.
Derek always packs hard-boiled eggs in his back pocket. Go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
You are getting hardcore con attendee like information here. Like here's all the food you can pack so you don't have to leave the convention center type of information, you know, or if you're standing or waiting in a line forever for a panel or whatever you may be waiting for. This is old school.
Yeah, and there will be those lines. There will be Derek. Yeah. I remember Derek would sometimes sit. Derek's not here tonight because Derek is Army Reserve and he just got off of an Army Reserve training weekend, so he's taking the night off. But
he's
sleeping, and he would always have his backpack, and we'll be sitting there, and I would say something like, "Hey, I'm going to go grab something to eat." We're sitting in a panel waiting for the next one to start. Here, goes, wait a second, and he starts passing down bananas, and he starts passing down hard-boiled eggs. I'm like,
yeah, he also packs MREs, so like,
yes, he did.
Yeah,
he was literally, we were in Hall H waiting for Doctor Who, and he just like busted out his MRE, and I was like, I can't get mad at that. Like, it's smart. Like,
I would clarify, it's not necessarily baby food. It's in the toddler food section because they're starting to chew. So one of the ones I found was also kind of like a gummy with kind of like a rice puffs in it. So like you get the crunch, and which I'm like, yes, on. I have it on my Instagram and TikTok. I made the top things you should bring for a convention video.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can we share that?
Yes.
Let's do that.
I thought of all the important things, which of course everybody has their own, specific needs. But yeah, the food one, because I know too many cons it takes, or you're just busy and running around. Like all of us, we do different press stuff, and it's hard to get out and go get food and come back. And so you have to figure out what can you pack for yourself that can tide you over for your day and not be, it's like, please eat, and water. You need water. Don't forget to drink your water.
That's a biggie. Oh, and battery packs for your phones. My phone is a piece of garbage these days. Yes. So
or if you have an iPhone.
Well, yeah, it's an iPhone. I mean,
the majority. This whole upper part has an iPhone. Okay.
I'm all Android all the way. I will last all day. But no, extra battery packs that are already charged. Yes.
What is this? Reese Witherspoon is known for literally keeping baby food in her clutch at award shows. That's great.
There you go.
Generally, guys, ideally, they're healthy, but yeah.
Before we're going to spend like 10 minutes on some of the panels that kind of look interesting to us. But before we do that, any other kind of like insider tips about attending WonderCon that can help make people's cons a little bit easier? Ben.
I have one, and it's a perfect segue into our next segment. There is an app called Sked. It's like short for schedule, SCHED, Sked. And this came out a number of years ago, pre-pandemic. And they partnered with some conventions, and basically they would get the entire schedule for the convention, and they would partner with the app. And then it didn't work with a bunch of conventions I was going to for a few years, and so I deleted it. And then I just saw on the WonderCon website, they were promoting that they had partnered with Sked. So if you go download this app, you can, among other things, but particularly with this topic, you can, you can't really see my phone on the screen, can you? Well, anyway, you can cycle through the entire schedule, the programming schedule for the convention, and you can even pick a filter for what type of programming you would like to see, whether it's specifically having to do with animation or anime or cosplay or costuming or et cetera, et cetera. And then you can tap on whatever program, panel, whatever it is that you want to check out, and it'll give you a description, who's hosting the panel, whatever information they have from the official WonderCon resource. And then you can add to Sked, and you can create your own custom schedule in the app with just the panels or programs that you're interested in on your own schedule. And so you can look through there and be like, oh yeah, I highlighted these 3 panels that are happening at 2 p.m. on Friday. And it tells you the room that they're in, how long they're going, and the title of the panel. And then again, you can click on it and see an expanded version of the information for the panel. I wish I could show you this on the screen, but here.
Whoa.
So,
look at that.
Okay,
now roll it. Now go back.
Hold it closer to the
back
screen.
up away from
Turn
your
it sideways. Ish.
No?
Sideways.
Turn it more sideways. Oh.
No, go up right next to the screen. Right.
Take your brightness. Take your brightness down.
There you go.
Oh, there we
go.
go.
There it is.
There we go.
Oh.
Okay, so this is my Sked, and
look at this.
So if people want
okay,
to
so
stalk
this
you,
is
they
the
know where you're
regular
going.
schedule. This is the regular schedule, and you can kind of cycle through that and be like, oh, I like this one. Oh, there's a little description of it right there. And then I can add to Sketch, and then it's added it to my schedule. And then I can go over, let's see if that'll adjust again.
Yep.
I can go over to my Sketch over here, and these are all the ones that I've highlighted. And so it does not include anything that I didn't click on and add to my Sketch. It's just the ones that I selected. And so that is an incredible way to keep track of all of the programming that you are interested in. And yeah, it's super cool. It's a super cool app. It's free, and they're starting to partner with more major conventions now. So
this seems way better than the old thing.
Yeah, how do you spell it? Someone
it's like schedule, SCHED, Sketch.
Yeah, I just downloaded it, and then you just enter what convention it is. It's a lot easier.
Real quick, can you put that comment back up, Jim? So super Mexican. That's a fantastic name. I love the avatar there. So you almost got it right. Just drop the G and the E. It's just SCHED. Yep. That's the name of the app. It should be available on Android and iPhone. I have an Android. It works great on the Android. So
I just downloaded it on my iPhone, and I made an account and everything. So it's cool.
And also, if you go to comiccon.org, they're using the Sked app. You can click on there, and they'll take you to a spot to download it as well.
It was more complicated to go on the website than what it just happened with that app. Just a heads up.
100%. It's a little bit complicated. It's not interfacing.
The website's not very accessible with that. So
I want to say hello to Miss Amanda Yallen. So awesome.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Amanda is leaving for Europe in 10 days if we want to go to Star Wars. So we need to talk with Amanda. She's going to Star Wars Celebration. Amanda, I've been following you on social media as you plan your trip. Let's talk. We'll talk offline because I think we definitely want to do that. All right. Excuse me. I do want to bring out, for those of you who don't know, if you're planning next week, some of us will be doing one last shorter show where we're going to talk about exclusives and toys and stuff that you can find at the convention. We'll go a little bit more into detail there. I don't think we have tons of time tonight, except not tonight. We won't do it.
Not tonight. We cannot do it tonight.
All right, just because if you want some of those convention exclusives, you do have to register through the portal. There's certain things to go through. It's kind of a jumping through hoops process. We'll talk about it next week. Tonight's not the night to do it. All right, let's talk very quickly, if we can, about some of the panels that you guys are excited about seeing. Do you want to do this by day or just kind of round the robin talking?
I think round robin might be the best solution.
Because
that's agreed. Oops.
Okay.
Because I think it's gonna take too much time if we go through every day. I think we should just say our favorite panels.
Go ahead, Katie. I want to hear what you got on tap.
All right, mine's short. I'll make it quickly. I can't find all the descriptions because I couldn't pull up the website, and it's gonna be too hard to find them real quick on the app. But I found all the details, costume, makeup, and hair design for film and TV. Saturday, 1 p.m. in room 213 CD. If you guys are in the industry, as you know, all of us are, there's a lot of industry panels for pretty much anything that you would do in the industry, whether it be writing comics, everything like that. So you can also just kind of look through the titles and see what catches your eye. They also have portfolio reviews. So that's another thing, that if you bring your portfolio, they have portfolio reviews all throughout the whole weekend. And then there is, my friend is actually part of this particular panel. It's called the Pop Culture Fantasy Draft, 7 to 8, Saturday, room 300A. And basically they have a whole bunch of scenarios and they do a pop culture draft for who they would have for that particular situation. So that'll be fun. And then of course the ever popular WonderCon Masquerade, which will probably be 3 hours long, but it's at 8:30 in the North 200A. It's always fun if you want to see people's cosplays. People put lots of work into this. There's prizes, things like that. But it gets long because Ben can tell you they do a chant every single time that someone is there, and it just gets longer and longer and longer and longer as the night progresses.
Katie, question. Can people still register for? I think people can still register. I just looked on the website for the Masquerade, right?
I did not look up that.
Well, I did. No, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to put her on the spot.
Usually it's wrapped up by now. I'd be surprised if it's still open, but
They actually said if there's room, you can still register at the convention itself. So
yeah,
that's
that's new because usually it fills up pretty fast, but it just depends on the year. And then last but not least, I saw I forgot to write the day on this one, but horror thriller or neither, which is a panel where they're basically going to talk about what is considered horror, what is considered thriller, and then put out different movies and different scenarios and be like, is it this, or is it neither? And that sounds fun because it's kind of like, I love hearing people like argue over things like that. You know, I mean, we do a podcast. I can't imagine why that would be possibly entertaining to me, you know. And that's 2 to 3 room 209. I believe that's Sunday because those are going in order of like the day. So I'm pretty sure that's Sunday. Not including a big panel on Sunday, but I will not have to talk about that. Someone else.
We'll let Luke and Ben will tell us about that panel in just a second. But like also, Katie, there's one that I think that you would love. Room 206B, Saturday at noon. Her Universe is doing a portfolio review. You can bring your portfolio of sketches and designs in there, and some of the folks from Her Universe will review it for you. I think that's kind of cool.
They also have their panel, which is where they have the winners from the Her Universe fashion show from San Diego Comic-Con. They talk about, usually that is where they reveal what they're actually designing for their line, which this year is for the Marvels. So usually that the WonderCon panel is where the designers that won preview what is coming out because the prize for the Her Universe fashion show is to design a line for Hot Topic. So they usually reveal it at WonderCon.
Cool. Carrie, what are you interested in?
Yes, I'll be honest, I'm still looking over some of it, but a couple of things I was seeing, Knights of the Zodiac live action film panel. I've seen a trailer and I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks so fun. So it's based on an anime manga and I'm like, yes. But from what I've seen, if this is what I think it is, it looks like a really good adaptation, not like other ones that Americans have made before. Just saying. What dreams may come, visualizing Slumberland. So I'm like, oh, that looks fun. Because, just seeing how the visualization of movies have like so much visual effects going on, I do find that kind of interesting. That 90s panel, the decade that changed it all. We are on such a wave of nostalgia right now. Well, there you go. Riding the wave of fan enthusiasm. Yep. So I think that could be really interesting. Also, shout out to friends over at Fanbase Press. They're having a 30th anniversary retrospective on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. The Fanbase Press are really cool folks. So I'm excited for them to have that. So those are just a couple that I'm excited about. And I think generally my recommendation, have your first choice, a second choice, and a third choice, just in case.
Yep. And the arena's back open this year. They got some big things happening in the arena. I know Luke and Ben, you guys are going to kind of tag team on one particular panel that we are announcing today because we're so excited about who's got some other stuff to talk about. Luke, you going to
go? Sure, I'll mention a few things. So on Friday, looks like they're doing True Lies now. It looks like
it's a TV show.
As a TV show, which I think is a great idea. Like, that sounds pretty cool. That's on Friday at 4:00 in room North 200A. So that's something. I was a big fan of the movie. So speaking of Jamie Lee Curtis, would love to check that one out for sure. And then, like, as a screenwriter, there are like stuff on Friday, like how to get your news coverage in room 209, or there's stuff on like screenwriting, like intro into TV from first draft to getting started, Saturday, March 25th at 3:00. And Writing 101, what to think about before you start writing, on Saturday at 5:00. So if you're looking to be a writer, whether that's screenwriting, whether that's comics, they have a lot of stuff there. They have a lot of like comic connector stuff, a lot of stuff for artists. And even on the floor, you can make a lot of connections. So bring business cards and things. And we'll also be talking about some of the panels we're doing on Sunday that both me and Jim are on, that are a lot about networking and building kind of some of those connections. But as far as just other kind of just fandom type stuff, the Wolfpack panels on Friday at 5:45. I'm sure Brad's
what
down
is the
there
Wolf?
with us.
Guess
it's a big TV series created by Jeff Davis, who is associated with Teen Wolf. Although it's both werewolves, it's not necessarily the same show, but I'm sure they'll have some cast and some other people there. So.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, from what I understand, is going to be showing up. So that's huge. That's huge.
Wow.
The show is Buffy the Werewolf Slayer. It's Buffy the Werewolf.
Yes,
Exactly.
it is. It is.
Then there's some other fun things like on Saturday morning cartoons with animator director Tom Cook. As you know, a lot of us are kind of like 80s kids or 90s kids with loving all those Saturday morning cartoons when that was a thing. So that sounds pretty fun. I don't think Katie mentioned the history of sci-fi costumes. I'm sure that would be something pretty cool at 10 o'clock on Saturday, room 207. There's one on Animaniacs, the 30th anniversary on Saturday.
I did see that, yeah.
Yeah, North 200A. Fear of the
30th
Walking
anniversary.
Dead.
That's cool.
Yeah.
A lot of 30th anniversaries this year.
There's another 30th anniversary coming up, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Because the 90s was like 30 years ago now. So it's that nostalgia. I know it's like, oh.
And,
Anything
and
else?
of course, the future of Indiana Jones franchise. There's a 6:30 thing talking about kind of the future, where it's going, you know, with this new movie. And I guess there's some gaming and some other stuff because Disney acquiring Lucasfilm. Of course, they want to probably do something with that franchise. So they might kind of talk about some speculation and some of those things. And there's also a Twilight Zone thing a little after that, 7 o'clock in room 211. So some behind the scenes of that. But I think it's more on the newer series that's on Sci-Fi Channel.
Yep. And look, let's go ahead and mention on Sunday, March 26th at 3 o'clock, Luke is going to be on a panel called The Importance of Online Branding. It's all about creating an online brand for yourself. It's going to feature himself, Gene Turnbow, Topher Davila, Sean Glummas, and Stephen Burns. That's going to be a great panel. All of us here, we kind of, part of our life is all about the online branding, and so many people that attend Comic-Con, their lives, their professional lives, I should say, involve that. So that's going to be really cool. And then 5 lucky attendees during that thing will win a One by Wacom tablet, courtesy of Wacom, which is kind of cool. So that's a cool event. They're having giveaways. It's a really cool event to attend. All right, Cheese Man, we're going to toss it to Ben, because we just want to kind of move on here. All right, Ben.
Yes,
that was terrible. Yeah. No,
okay, I'm going to toss it. He's tossing it to Cheeseman. Now I'm tossing it to Ben. Ben,
no, wait, stop. let me rephrase that. Hey, Luke, do you have any more?
Well, of course, we are once again doing our.
Wait! This is our big announcement.
Maybe you want to do this one.
Drum roll.
Go ahead, Luke.
We are once again doing the 30 year of Power Rangers. We did 29 last year. We are doing 30 years of Power Rangers, a fan celebration. We now have just confirmed we have 6 Rangers coming. There could be possibly more surprise guests, but Abraham Rodriguez just joined.
He wasn't in the description.
He was not, but we're going to have to add him now. And then Peter Sidarso's back, Roger Velasco, Brenna Mejia, Ciara Hanna, and Cameron Gibo back. So some of the friendly faces we had back in San Diego. So we're looking to do another
check out that moderator.
Check out the moderator.
Yeah,
when's this going to be, Ben?
Well, this is going to be Sunday at what time are we at? I don't even remember.
10:30 a.m. Right and early.
10:30 a.m. in room 300C.
Don't come over, just.
Is that the room we were in the first year we did this?
No, well, I don't know. I think we were in an AB room, so this is C.
Oh, okay.
Last year we were in an AB room, right?
Last year we were in one of the north rooms,
right,
and it was a really big room. And
it
guys,
was a big room last year.
It was a really big room, and we had a lot of people. So maybe we'll have a line this year. By the way, this is the 30th
which was pretty
anniversary.
Cool. Yeah.
Another 31.
All right, let's pitch it off to Ben. Let Ben talk about.
So
Ben.
I was going to mention, outside of our Power Rangers panel, I was going to mention Luke's panel that he's on. But Jim, you're also on a panel at WonderCon.
Oh yeah, that's right. How to have a full-time creative career on a part-time schedule. Sunday at 4, room 213 CD. 213 CD. That's a lot of things.
CDs, man, they're the future. So I'm just looking through my schedule, and I went through and I clicked on and added anything that I would even be remotely interested in. So a lot of them are like happening at the same time. And so I'm going to have to go through and like eliminate things.
Well, those are your backup options.
I was just going to say, do like the backup option thing like Carrie was saying, but I'll do just a couple of highlights of things that stood out to me from each day. So Friday at 3:30, there's Doctor Who Science and History, which I think would be interesting. There's also Star Wars and Fandom, the early days, where Craig Miller, who was Lucasfilm's original director of fan relations and publicist for Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back.
This is my number one thing I want to see while I'm there this weekend. Yeah.
There you
go. Besides
so
our
he's
panel,
doing a panel. Yeah, he's doing the panel on the early days of Star Wars fandom. And there's actually quite a number of panels this year, all 3 days, with regards to bringing comic book and graphic novel culture into classrooms and using it as a teaching tool, which I'm really interested in. Not because I'm a teacher, I'm just interested in that being used as part of education. Yeah. 6:30 p.m. on Friday, The Future of Doctor Who. 10 a.m. on Saturday, they're having Klingon Lifestyle, which is something that they do at San Diego and at WonderCon. It is a melodramatic soap opera about Klingons. And I think it's half scripted and half improv. And I've never been, and I've always heard about this. I'm a huge Star Trek fan, as well as a huge Star Wars fan. And so I am going to try to get to that at 10 a.m. on Saturday. I don't know if I'll be able to, but
I feel like you've mentioned this before, but you've never gone?
I've never gone. I was going to go to it at San Diego last summer, but I didn't end up being able to make it. Okay. And Balancing Your Day Job with Your Passion Project, a survival guide at 11:30 on Saturday. Cosplay Makeup 101, some of my very dear friends who are makeup artists in the film and television and cosplay industries are hosting that. Of course, we already mentioned the Animaniacs 30th anniversary. Spotlight on Tom King, who is a fantastic comic book writer, is happening 1 p.m. on Saturday.
One of the biggies.
Celebrating 100 years of Disney with the Disney Bound. At 1 p.m. also on Saturday. Star Trek The Next Generation's Greatest Guest Stars at 1:30 on Saturday. Another one, engaging students with comics in the classroom. How to make armor and props for cosplay. Just different things. Alternative history in speculative fiction. Like this is when I get real nerdy into like storytelling stuff. And how to build a Star Wars R2 astromech droid at 5 p.m. on Saturday. If you're interested in that, the future of the Indiana Jones franchise. A puppet-filled D&D one-shot where they will be doing a one-shot D&D game with puppets.
That sounds terrifying and hilarious at the same time. Like
intriguing.
I'm terrified of puppets. That I have to put some context in that, so that's why it sounds terrifying to me. But like,
someone didn't watch Mr. Rogers,
right? 10 a.m. on Sunday, they're doing a 31st anniversary of X-Men the animated series. 11:30 a.m. on Sunday, there's a spotlight on Jenny Frison, who is an incredible comic artist. Putting the fun in crowdfunding sounded intriguing to me. That's a way to make money for a project if you are creative. Crowdfunding is always an option. Let's talk Lord of the Rings of Power is happening at 2 p.m. on Sunday.
Danae will totally go to that panel. She will not, but that, you know, I'm just throwing shade. Danae, I love you. Sorry, not throwing shade, but yes, I am throwing shade.
And then, at 3 p.m. on Sunday, there is the Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog and interactive musical comedy, which is always fun.
Is this the like get off stage music?
Am I being played off right now?
We need to put our own music in there.
It's the
one that's super like nerdy and historical and progressive that I would love is Civil Rights in the Time of Star Wars, which I think sounds interesting. And then there's one called Full-Time Creative Work on a Part-Time Schedule at 4 p.m. on Sunday. And I think Jim's in that.
I am in that. And I'm not going to go through an exhaustive list here, but I do want to call out that one because some of the people in that panel have helped us in our podcast and our website kind of get off the ground and given us some great inspiration. Ron Coleman, he's a PhD molecular geneticist and comics writer. You guys would love him. He's a scientist saving the white rhino and he helped to come up with the COVID vaccine. And he writes comic books, and he's the world's greatest, oh, it's so cool. I just love talking with him. Like, smart people who write comic books is so great. So Ron Coleman's going to be there. Renee Woolzinger, she's got a doctorate degree, director of customer success at Eon Reality, owner of Ren Zone Music. She's a composer. She has executive produced movies. She's so amazing. Topher Davila he's the art director for geekdomware.com. We're going to be featuring him a little bit more next week. Geekdomware, which is our product week, our exclusives week. And then, of course, Sean Glummus, he's a comic book letterer and glummus.com. He also provides some free giveaways during the panel, an Adobe Creative Cloud for a year, which is a $600 value. And one more, this guy, Gene Turnbow, founder of Sci-Fi Radio, editor-in-chief of Helium Beach Comics, Press. Gene's a good friend of ours, and our podcast here streams on Sci-Fi Radio every weekend at 1 and 4 p.m., both AM and PM. Thank you, Gene, for setting it up. Real quick, I'm not going to really have a lot of time. The Power Rangers panel, Sunday, 10:30 to 11:30. Please come see that, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Ben, you want to say something?
Yeah, really quickly. I just want to cover this. So our panel is at 10:30 a.m. on Sunday. It is called 30 Years of Power Rangers, a Fan Celebration. On Saturday at 3:30 p.m., there is a panel called 30 Years of Power Rangers, Fandom Celebration. Now, this panel is being hosted by Jessica Tsang. I hope I pronounced that correctly. If not, Jessica, if you're watching, I apologize. Jessica is a pop culture historian and has worked with the History Channel. She's going to discuss the long-lasting legacy of the Power Rangers show with talent spanning 3 decades. Now, the names are incredibly similar. In fact, they're damn near identical. They do not have any Ranger actors listed for this panel, so I don't know if Jessica is going to have any Rangers. What I would say is this is happening in North 200A at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday. Go support this panel.
Yeah.
It's not conflicting with ours in any way. There's none of this. And if you are a Power Rangers fan and you are at WonderCon Anaheim, go to this panel on Saturday and come to our panel on Sunday morning and support all of this Power Ranger joy. I just think it's hilarious that these two panels have almost the exact same name, but they will be very different and different ways of celebrating one of our
absolutely go. I agree. Thank you for pointing that out. Jessica's panel is going to definitely dive into the history, whereas our panel is going to be more about the actors from across the different seasons, talking to the fans. So come out and support both of them. The one last thing I'm going to say is, if you are interested in the comic industry, at all, there's a number of different portfolio reviews. One Friday, 3:30 to 4:30. There's a portfolio review with I didn't write the name of it. It's in room 206B. That's for comic creators. Friday also in 206B 5 to 7. There's a networking event for comics creators to all come together. Some of our friends, I think that's April Wallen kind of helps put that together, if I'm not mistaken. So that's Friday from 5 to 7. A big networking. Arun's going to be in that. Arun Singh's one of the people putting that together. Together, creators, publishers, comic shop owners, teachers, and library workers have brought greater acceptance. This is basically a speed dating thing to meet different creators. Arun Singh is a good friend of Ben's. He works at Skybound Entertainment with Ben's fantastic wife, who is. Are we allowed to talk about this? Whatever. I'll let Ben.
My wife works at Skybound. That's all we need to say.
That's all we need to say. She's awesome. And her universe, like we said, also come mingle on Saturday 5 to 7 with another networking thing in room 206B for anyone who's trying to break into the comic book industry. So I'm just saying, if you want to break into comic books and you want to meet people in the industry, There's a bunch of events that are happening for you to come, meet, speed date, get to know people, and then head over to the Hilton Bar where you can cement the deal. Buy those guys a drink. Listen, if you want to get to know them, buy them a drink, buy them dinner, get to know these guys, because this is the best place to know it. I have nothing else to say, guys. We got to close down the show today with this. I wrote it out. Today, I want to say thank you so much to just a number of people. This is my Academy Award speech. This is our seventh year anniversary. Carrie, you've been a big part of that. Ben, Katie, Luke, you guys have been such a big part of that. I wish Derek and Danae were here. I want to say thank you to Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svidek, who created Popcorn Talk Studios. Guys, you were great. Stephen Lemieux and Ryan Nilsson, who produced all of our shows while we were there. Emma Fife, Alana Jordan, and Carrie Lang, longtime host of the show. Carrie still comes on and helps when she is available. She's a very busy woman. Junior Felix and that hashtag show for taking a chance with us. Ben for helping to set that up. Of course, Neft Vodka. Also, Mike Faber and the whole crew at the ESO Network, and Mike Emke and his Weeby Geeks Network. Gene Turnbow with Sci-Fi Radio for putting us on there. Scott Meir, our web producer. Almost done here, guys. Brad Everett Young for his social media magic and helping us network. And, of course, Ben, Katie, Derek, Danae, Luke, Jake, for making me look forward to Monday nights. I love you guys. By the way, guys, follow us here on that hashtag show and the Con Guys show. Oh, Junior Felix is watching. Junior, love you so much, my friend. So glad you're on tonight with us. And by the way, Brad was wanting to say that Brad is actually attending the season finale event for the Wolfpack tomorrow night with Jeff Davis and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Brad, get some cool pictures. All right, we're going to close out the night. Katie, where can people find you and follow you online?
You can follow me across all social media at KT_Christine. Recently, I have been the most active on TikTok. But yeah, TikTok, Instagram, sometimes Twitch. I'm going to try to start getting back into that more. I keep saying that every week. Eventually, it will be true. If you guys have any questions or want to have any advice on WonderCon and you are going, feel free to tweet me at this. I check Twitter way more than I should. I am on Twitter way more than I should. But I will apologize in advance if you follow me on Twitter right now, because it is pretty much only BTS content. So there's that. So just be prepared for that. But find me at WonderCon next weekend, and I probably won't look like this because I will probably be in cosplay a majority of the weekend. But
you're not going to recognize her. Carrie.
Yes. Y'all can find me online here, Carrie D. Lane, across all the social webs, KARIDLANE. And I'll be posting them individually and tagging it. But speaking of everything everywhere all at once, I talked to a couple of the guys who are in the movie that did some crazy stunts way back when at Comic-Con Special Edition. And so it's even more fun to see people that you met in person like succeed. So I'm like, yes, big shout out to them. But yeah, follow me online, because pretty much if you're there, there's Linktree, all the information's on there. And also here on that hashtag show, did some Anime Expo interviews, so you can find those as well.
Yes. Hey, Cheeseman.
All right. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at CheeseOnCouch and on theconguy.com. And also you can see me at WonderCon this year.
All right, you can find me at James D. Fry on Instagram, Jim Fry LA on Twitter. So glad you guys are following us. Remember to follow us on theconguy.com. Ben, good old Ben, take us out, my friend.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to our 7th anniversary show tonight on The Con
Cheers.
Guy. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you. I echo Jim's thanks to all those people, many of whom I've never met, but you all worked very hard and put us in a position where we can have this show that's been going for 7 years, and that's unbelievable. I am speechless. I am without speech. That being said, thank you again so much. I love this song, by the way. This song is written by our very own Cheese, as well as
Cheese on the Couch and JJ.
My buddy JJ.
Jacobus System. Right?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's my friend JJ.
Oh, it was JJ.
Yeah,
this is our official theme song. I believe it's called LA Girls in Trouble.
Is that right? That was our scratch name. I did put it as the Con Guy theme on here, so people aren't.
Con Guy anniversary party. That's right, Amanda.
I also forgot to say we have other channels, Con Girls. I'm also on that. Make sure you
Yes.
check that out too.
We have the
Sorry.
Scare Guy. We have the Con Girls. We have the Con Kids. This is a rapidly expanding empire. You can follow me on socials at Ben Cleaver. That's BENKLIEWER. I am on Twitter while it's still around before it burns itself to the ground. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok. Any of those social medias, you can get a link to my link tree and find more information about me if you would ever want to. I don't know. Or you can search the hashtag BK421. I tag a lot of my posts with that. It's kind of my thing. Other than that, from everybody here at the Con Guy, thank you all out there for 7 awesome years. And here's to the next 7. I will toast you with this, my red cup. People always ask, then why are you drinking out of that red cup? Well, it's because whenever Ben Cleaver shows up, it's always a party. Good night, everybody.
See you at WonderCon.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to The Con Guy Show, the official program of theconguy.com. Find us on the Weeby Geeks Collective or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And now on sci-fi.radio, Saturdays at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, both AM and PM. That's 9 o'clock Greenwich. It's sci-fi for your Wi-Fi.